This week in social group, we worked on some of the very practical parts of being part of a group. And we started off by talking about what are some groups we belong to. Some of them are really obvious, like our social group or our class at school, but some of them are a little less obvious for the kids, like our family. Families are totally a group. Sports teams, scouts, there's so many groups that we spend time with. Depending on the type of group, there are an endless amount of tricky things about being part of a group. Some kids talked about group projects at school and how challenging that can be. Of course, being part of a family is always really challenging, but we focused on two topics today that feel pretty universal and pretty important about being part of a group. And they're both skills, waiting and sharing. We started with waiting. The kids talked about that when they're in a group, it's hard to wait to share an idea, to not interrupt, to wait to have your needs met, maybe to let somebody else go first at something. But they also talked about how in a group, they know how important it is to wait, not only because you're a part of a group, but because people have thoughts about you if you struggle to wait. I wanted them to know that it's not only kids that have a hard time with waiting, and that we've kind of all gotten bad at waiting. I asked them why they think, and really where my mind was going was that we are often so busy with devices or screens that we just are out of practice. But they brought up some really interesting points too, like Amazon 2-day shipping. Equally as important as being able to wait socially, sharing matters too. And this is really obvious to kids. Like they want something, they have to share it, they have to take turns. What was a little less obvious were things around sharing attention, sharing mom and dad's time, sharing patience. There's a lot of different things that we have to share. Whenever I draw this image, kids like to tell me that it's not completely equal, and then I like to come right back at them and say, well, of course not, because nothing in the social world is ever perfectly equal. But when we're a part of a group, we try to be sure that everybody has equal access to a turn, to sharing their ideas, to attention, to having their voice heard. But that more often than not, it kind of looks more like this. This image usually stops the kids pretty much in their track because they either immediately identify with the girl in blue or with one of the kids in green or yellow. Really interesting conversations come from this image about if we are a person who wants to have more access to the words, we need to use the words. If we're a person who sometimes takes up too many of the words, we might need to give other people a chance. Very eye-opening conversation. I might suggest using this image at home to see what they think about how your family operates. I wish everybody a really happy week, and I'll see you soon.